Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Thanks for having me back.
You can go to SpeakDuo.com to meet new people from around the world who are practicing English on video calls to become more confident with their English speaking abilities. So, today we are doing a deep dive into the secret physical landscape of advanced workplace English.
Yeah, exactly. And this deep dive is specifically curated for you, the advanced English learner. I mean, we really don't need a long explanation of why we're doing this today.
No, definitely not.
Right. Our mission is simply mastering these advanced phrases. So let's just jump straight into the lexicon.
Awesome. Let's start with the foundational actions of a workday. Arriving, helping out, submitting work. Our first phrase is turn up.
Turn up, yeah.
Now, I always used to think turn up was just like a casual synonym for arrive. If I say someone arrived at the office or they turned up at the office, it feels like the same result.
Well, the end result is the same, sure. They're in the building.
Huh.
But the journey there is entirely different. Arrive is, it's entirely expected and honestly quite formal.
Right, like a train schedule.
Exactly. If you tell me the train arrived, I assume it followed the schedule perfectly. But turn up, and this is key, carries a distinct nuance of unpredictability.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it implies appearing unexpectedly, or maybe arriving late, or even not appearing at all when you are heavily relied upon.
That shifts the tone completely. So if I'm explaining a chaotic morning to my boss, I might say, John didn't turn up for the client meeting.
Yes, exactly.
By using turn up, I'm painting a picture of us, like sitting in the boardroom, checking our watches. It highlights the expectation and the letdown way better than just saying he failed to arrive.
It creates a narrative,
Yeah.
It's not just stating a dry fact. And speaking of physical actions that carry narrative weight, let's look at what happens when the work is done. To hand something in.
Hand something in. Now, this one feels almost like a relic to me.
A relic. How so?
Well, we submit things online all the time now. I just click a button on a portal. Why wouldn't I just say submit?
Because submit sounds incredibly digital and sterile. It creates distance. To hand in carries a tangible, deadline-driven weight to it.
Even for a digital file.
Yeah, even if you are just uploading a PDF. Saying you handed it in evokes that feeling of physically walking up to a boss's desk and dropping a heavy stack of papers down.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're literally releasing the burden.
Right.
That physical relief is so relatable. Like, if you were doing an IELTS Part 2 response and you need to describe a stressful situation, you'd say, I had to hand in my final project right at the deadline.
Perfect example.
It emphasizes the sheer physical exhaustion of getting that project out of your hands.
You are transferring ownership of the problem. Which actually brings us to the reality that you rarely finish those massive projects alone.
Right. Usually you need to give someone a hand.
Give someone a hand. Now, obviously this means to help someone. But there is a real difference in how this lands compared to offering to assist a colleague.
Assist definitely feels a bit cold.
It creates a distinct professional distance. Assist is, well, it's what a highly paid consultant does from a corner office.
Yeah, totally.
But to give someone a hand implies rolling up your sleeves for collaborative effort. Often physical effort.
It's getting down in the trenches with them.
Yes.
I can picture that perfectly. You're leaning over a desk, staring at a broken spreadsheet, and you ask, could you give me a hand with this massive quarterly report?
It feels friendlier, right? Almost vulnerable.
Exactly. You're asking for a partner, not a subordinate.
It completely softens the request. And once that massive report is finally handed in, it leads us to our fourth phrase. Look forward to something.
Now, how does looking forward to something actually differ from expecting something? Because realistically, I expect Friday to arrive, but I also look forward to it.
It all comes down to emotional intent. Expect is entirely neutral or even mandatory.
Right.
You expect a delivery. You expect your employees to be on time. But to look forward to requires positive, eager anticipation.
So expect sounds incredibly dangerous in the wrong context then.
Oh, absolutely.
A polite sign-off to a boss might be, I'm really looking forward to the weekend trip to recharge before Q3.
Yes, that shows genuine enthusiasm.
Because if I wrote, I expect the weekend trip, it sounds like I'm holding the company hostage.
It sounds like a non-negotiable demand. Look forward to is pure, positive anticipation.
Got it. Okay, let's pivot a bit. We've navigated getting work done. Let's move into workplace friction and tech headaches.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, starting with a phrase anyone with a printer knows too well. Play up.
Playing up.
Now, if my computer broke down, I wouldn't say it was playing up, would I?
No, because if the machine breaks down, it's dead, the screen is black, it's over.
Right.
But if it's playing up, It's intermittently malfunctioning. It's behaving like a misbehaving child throwing a tantrum.
Oh, that start and stop frustration is the worst.
It works for 5 minutes, freezes, then miraculously works when IT looks at it.
So I might joke to my colleagues, my laptop was playing up all morning during the regional manager's presentation.
Perfect. It captures the anxiety of knowing the machine is alive, but actively plotting against you.
Yeah, that anxiety is real. And when tech plays up, widespread confusion usually follows, meaning someone has to step in and clear something up.
Clear something up. Let's compare this to solve.
Yeah, I can solve a scheduling problem. Why do I need to clear it up?
Solving is clinical. You solve a math equation. It's logical. But you clear up a misunderstanding or a rumor.
Oh, I see.
The imagery is brilliant here. It implies there's a thick fog blocking everyone's vision, and you are taking a broom and sweeping it away.
Sweeping away the fog. So imagine an HR scenario where vacation rules change suddenly. The HR director wouldn't say they're solving the rules.
Right, they wouldn't.
They'd say, I need to clear this up. There's widespread confusion about the new holiday policy.
That's the perfect context.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes the friction isn't about foggy policies. Sometimes it's about sheer ego.
Which brings us to show off.
Show off, yes.
I want to dig into the line between demonstrating and showing off. Because if my team hits record numbers, I want to present them. When does it become showing off?
It crosses the line the moment it becomes about the ego rather than the data.
Interesting.
Presenting is the objective sharing of facts. Showing off involves boasting, is actively trying to impress people in a way that feels inherently self-centered.
The difference between sharing information and demanding applause.
Exactly.
So venting to a colleague, I might say, he always shows off during international conferences.
Meaning he's hijacking the meeting to stroke his own ego. And that kind of behavior often leads to real conflict, bringing us to a fallout.
No, I've heard learners use fallout interchangeably with disagree, but that feels way too light.
It is way too light. That's a crucial distinction. A disagreement is cognitive, but a fallout is a severe relational break.
A severe break.
Picture a glass container holding a friendship. When you fall out, the friendship physically falls out of the container and shatters.
Wow, that is heavy.
You actively stop being friendly.
So for office gossip, you wouldn't say two executives disagreed. You'd whisper the two directors fell out after a severe disagreement over the budget.
Meaning they don't even make eye contact in the elevator anymore.
The relationship is dead.
The container is broken. And that transitions us into the dark side of corporate politics. Ethical dilemmas and intense pressure.
Let's start with a manipulative phrase. Set someone up.
How does setting someone up differ from just blaming them?
Yeah, because in both, someone is taking the fall for something they didn't do.
The difference is the timeline. Blaming happens after the disaster. The project fails, someone points a finger.
Right.
But setting someone up requires premeditated trickery. It means someone built a trap in advance to unfairly make an innocent person appear guilty.
Like corporate espionage. A news story might say the politician claimed his rivals set him up to ruin his campaign.
He's alleging they orchestrated the whole scandal from day one.
And when malicious things happen, witnesses sometimes make a terrible choice. They look the other way.
Let's contrast this with missing something.
Yeah, if I'm reviewing 10,000 pages, I might just miss a bad transaction.
Missing a detail is accidental ignorance. But looking the other way is a deliberate, conscious choice.
A cowardly choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see the ethical violation right in front of you, but you physically turn your head to ignore it, usually to avoid conflict.
So a journalist might write, the compliance officer decided to look the other way instead of reporting the blatant violations.
And unfortunately, that escalates. Corporations then try to hush something up.
How does hushing something up compare to keeping a secret? I keep secrets from my friends.
Keeping a secret is neutral or innocent. Hushing something up involves actively hiding highly damaging information from the public.
A coordinated cover-up.
Exactly.
The pharmaceutical corporation tried to hush the scandal up. They shredded documents and intimidated people.
Active suppression. Now, imagine you are the lawyer hired to defend them. That intense pressure brings us to our final phrase. Pull yourself together.
If my friend is nervous, I tell them to calm down. Why tell them to pull themselves together?
Because calm down is gentle external advice. But pull yourself together is an urgent internal command.
Urgent command.
Your emotions are shattered into pieces on the floor. You literally have to gather those pieces and pull them back into one solid self.
What a brilliant visual. So you might say, overwhelmed by the questioning, The lawyer had to take a moment to pull herself together before facing the judge.
It is the ultimate phrase for regaining professional composure.
All right, we have unpacked 12 incredibly nuanced phrases. And now it is time for the superbly said interactive quiz.
Let's lock this knowledge in.
I am going to read a scenario with option A, B, and C. I will repeat the target phrase. That is your vital clue. For every single question, I'll prompt you to pause, and then we will immediately reveal the answer.
Sounds good.
Question 1. Pay close attention to the phrase show off. The executive's tendency to show off during the international conference meant he
Actively tried to impress people by boastfully highlighting his numerous professional corporate accomplishments.
respectfully stepped aside to allow junior colleagues to present their highly innovative ideas. Or option C, carefully avoided answering the incredibly difficult questions regarding the recent catastrophic financial losses. Or option C. Remember, we are looking for the meaning of show off. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
So the correct answer is A. Remember our distinction between demonstrating facts and feeding the ego. To show off means he actively tried to impress people by boastfully highlighting his numerous professional corporate accomplishments.
Excellent. Question 2. Focus on the phrase fell out. After the severe disagreement regarding the departmental budget, the two directors fell out, meaning
He immediately resigned from their highly prestigious executive positions without providing any prior notice.
had a massive argument and completely stopped being friendly with one another afterward. Or option C, successfully compromised and mutually agreed upon a highly lucrative new financial investment strategy. Or option C, the target phrase is fell out. So fell out. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is B, as we discussed, is the broken container. They had a massive argument and completely stopped being friendly with one another afterward.
The relationship has fractured. Okay, question 3. Listen for the phrase playing up. The crucial presentation was delayed because the regional manager's laptop was playing up, indicating it was
Surprisingly, operating significantly faster than usual following the massive unexpected network security update.
loudly broadcasting highly confidential audio recordings during the incredibly sensitive international corporate meeting. Or option C, continuously causing severe technical problems and behaving remarkably badly throughout the entire morning. Or option C, we are looking for playing up. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
The correct answer is C. Just like our misbehaving toddler metaphor, it is continuously causing severe technical problems and behaving remarkably badly throughout the entire morning.
Intermittent frustration. Question 4. The phrase to catch is clear the situation up. The Human Resources Director sent a detailed email attempting to clear the situation up, aiming to
Thoroughly explain the complicated new policy and efficiently resolve the widespread employee confusion.
aggressively terminate several highly experienced senior staff members without offering adequate severance packages. Or option C, intentionally hide the rapidly escalating administrative problems from the highly concerned corporate investors. Or option C, the phrase is clear the situation up. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is A. Think of sweeping away the fog. They are aiming to thoroughly explain the complicated new policy and efficiently resolve the widespread employee confusion.
Halfway there. Question 5. The phrase is set him up. The arrested politician angrily claimed that his aggressive political rivals had set him up, suggesting they had
Incredibly generously provided him with massive amounts of completely undisclosed international campaign funding.
intentionally tricked him into a terrible situation to unfairly make him appear guilty. Or option C, publicly endorsed his highly controversial legislative proposals during the incredibly important national broadcast. Or option C, listen for the 6. Set him up. Set him up. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
It's B. This captures that dark premeditation. They intentionally tricked him into a terrible situation to unfairly make him appear guilty.
They built the trap. Question 6. Focus on look the other way. Despite clearly witnessing the blatant ethical violations, the compliance officer chose to look the other way, deciding to
Immediately report the highly suspicious corporate activities to the federal financial regulatory authorities.
aggressively confront the incredibly powerful senior executives regarding their completely unacceptable professional behavior. Or option C, deliberately ignore the obviously wrong actions rather than actively deal with the problematic situation. Or option C, the phrase is look the other way, look the other way. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is C. This separates accidental ignorance from cowardice. They decided to deliberately ignore the obviously wrong actions rather than actively deal with the problematic situation.
Question 7. The key phrase is, hush the scandal up. The massive pharmaceutical corporations spent millions of dollars trying to hush the scandal up, attempting to
Completely hide the incredibly embarrassing and highly damaging information from the general public.
rapidly distribute the highly anticipated experimental medication to severely suffering local community hospitals. Or option C, publicly apologize for the terrible administrative mistakes committed by their incredibly inexperienced management. Or option C, we are focusing on hush the scandal up, hush the scandal up. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
It is option A. This is an active, coordinated cover-up. They're attempting to completely hide the incredibly embarrassing and highly damaging information from the general public.
And our final question, question 8. The phrase is pull herself together. Overwhelmed by the intense corporate questioning, the lawyer took a moment to pull herself together, needing to
Completely rewrite her incredibly complicated legal arguments before the demanding federal court judge.
rapidly regain control of her intense emotions and calm herself down before facing the room. Or option C, immediately step down from the complicated legal case and offer a formal apology to her clients. Or option C, the final phrase is pull herself together. Feel free to pause the audio here if you need to think about the answer.
And the final answer is B, gathering your shattered pieces. It is an urgent internal command to rapidly regain control of her intense emotions and calm herself down before facing the room.
Fantastic job navigating those. If you manage to spot those incredibly specific nuances, your professional vocabulary is genuinely on another level.
Absolutely. And I just want to leave you with a final thought on those cultural fingerprints we discussed earlier.
Yeah, the emotional mapping.
Right. We've seen how English speakers take intensely abstract emotional experiences, like the death of a friendship or the panic of a scandal, and turn them into physical objects we can manipulate.
We fall out of containers, sweep fog away, pull shattered pieces together.
Exactly. When you study these phrases, don't just memorize them as synonyms. Visualize that literal physical action.
Yeah.
It completely changes how you process the psychology of the English workplace.
That is such a powerful way to look at language. It's not just a list of words, it's a physical map of human behavior. Well, you have officially upgraded your vocabulary today. I challenge you to take that map and use it. Try slipping one of these nuanced phrases into your next work email or your next IELTS speaking session. Watch how it changes the entire weight of your sentence. Thanks for doing this deep dive with us today, and keep looking for those cultural fingerprints.